Hello and welcome back to the channel. So we got the van under the bed all tore out again, as far as totes and stuff goes. Got everything moved out so we can climb under there for some wiring work. We're basically continuing where we left off yesterday when we got the USB ports and 12-volt outlets installed right next to our battery monitor. Today we're actually going to put in ports on the sides of the bed now. So the plan is to put a pair of USB ports on my side of the bed, a USB-C, 65-watt USB-C port, so that way I can keep my laptop plugged in, when I'm Netflixing, chilling, and whatever. And then that one I think has like 1 or 2 USB A ports on it as well. And then we're going to install a pair of USB A ports on the other side of the bed for Miss Barb when we're camping together. So let's jump to it. Alright, hopefully you can see me okay against the sun behind me. I got the camera light on. We'll see how it turns out, but either way, I'm going to start by putting a couple holes on my side of the bed. When I was drilling holes yesterday, I thought about it after the fact, and I should have just drilled those in far enough for the tip of the bit to puncture through the other side and then reverse drill. That probably would have produced a much cleaner hole. So I'm going to try that when I go and do the hole on the other side. I don't think I can do it with this side though, because right under where we're drilling is where the tank for the diesel heater sits. It does sit far enough down that I'm really not at risk of puncturing it, as long as I'm careful, of course. But I don't think I've got enough space to reverse drill holes. So here we go. Oops, camera spun. So yeah, there's no way we're getting the bit on the other side, so all the way through it is. It's not working out very well, is it? So even though I've got the bed made, it's probably a good thing I'm still using the sleeping bag until I can figure out how I want to store it away. Because there's chips and shavings and shit all over back here, so I'll eventually have to tear it all out again, get it swept real good, and get the bedding and stuff washed. But for now, we're gonna have USB ports. Alright, and there they are. Time to go underneath and wire them all up. Alright. So I think I'm going to start with attaching some of these cable clamps in spots that I would like to have them. I'd put a bunch of these cables up here. You might not be able to see that high, but the last ones I put in, trying to put them in with the cables running through them, was a little bit of a pain in the ass. So I'm just going to go ahead and put them up first and then run my cables. Let's see how that works. Okay, so that should be the only other one that I wanted for the diesel heater. So I think we'll go ahead, unscrew the diesel heater from the fuse panel, cut the wires down to a manageable length. Now we don't have a bunch of excess crap. I think maybe somewhere about there looks good. Much better. Alright, so what I'm doing right now is just starting to run the cabling for the 2 ports on the driver's side. Maybe my good idea of trying to run these through those isn't going to work after all, now that there's more than 2 in there. Oh, there it goes. Boy, she's a tight fit, but it went. And that's all that matters. We're just going to pull a whole bunch of that through. Always better to start with too much than not enough. Then once we start getting things fastened on the other end, then we can start taking the slack and pulling it back out and figuring out how long we need these to be to get them connected to the fuse block. At least that's the idea. Okay, so now that we have the ends of our wires, I'm going to take these, strip some off of here. More connectors. so. So now we can go ahead and get these hooked up to those. The way I screwed those in, positive was going to be closest to the wall, so that's going to go on like that. Negative will go on like that. Those are nice and attached. We'll take this positive, put it on there. And the negative, like so. Alright, driver side ports. Power button turns them on. That's good. And those are good. And passenger side works. Alright, so that's it for that project. I'm going to get my van put back together now and get things cleaned up. Probably go to car wash and get one of those vacuums and try to get more of that sawdust out. But yeah, so that's that. That will probably be the last of the projects for a while. Kind of run the pocketbook a little bit empty trying to get this thing, you know, in a nice livable state, and those power ports was pretty much the last thing on the list that I needed to get done to basically get myself completely free of having to use my power stations in any way, shape, or form in here. This thing is now 100% self-electrical contained, and power stations are simply going to be here as backup units. So I'm really happy about that. So going forward, what can you expect without all the project stuff? Well, probably just, you know, regular life stuff, I guess. You know, we'll have some hangout days, and maybe I'll take you into, you know, a day in the life of, you know, things that I do when I get off work every day, and things that I do on my weekends. I'm still kind of discovering what I'm going to do on my weekends, at least in the wintertime. Summer, I mean, summer plans aren't going to change. I mean, that pretty much carries over from, you know, truck living. There's going to be a lot of, you know, just finding out and about camping spots to go hang out at, you know, enjoying the nature around us and things like that. So, you know, if that's stuff that you definitely like to look forward to, hang out for a while, see what we come up with. If you have any ideas for content, you know, I'm certainly open to suggestions. You know, what are some things you guys want to see out of this channel? You know, this is your guys' adventure just as much as it is mine. I mean, it's my documentary, but, you know, if you guys have any fun ideas or things like that, I am most definitely open. So, until next time, thanks for watching.